Today in the Audio Hotline studio, we have a condenser microphone from the company Neat. This is known as the King B. And I know that can be a little bit confusing because some people probably think that Jay-Z is King B since he's with Beyonce. She's Queen B, he's King B. But no, this microphone, King B-E-E, so it's different. I guess you could have assumed it was spelled B-E-E because look at it, it's a B. I think that Neat kind of missed out not releasing these a while ago because I guarantee that the B-movie voice actors would have absolutely used them. Would have been pretty meta. Okay, that's enough B-related nonsense for now. Before we start talking about details of the King B, first we gotta play the intro. Let's get mic'd. Welcome all audio nerds to the Audio Hotline, and as I said before, we have the Neat King B in the studio. There's been a lot of buzz surrounding this microphone. Buzz. You get it? Oh, I need to stop. Okay. But for real, there actually has been a lot of buzz surrounding this microphone. A lot of people saying how good it is, especially for its lowish price. I've stayed away from all of the reviews and most discussions surrounding this microphone. The only thing that I definitely know is that people do like it. The reason I try to stay away from that stuff is so when I'm first hearing this microphone, I'm not thinking like, oh, that person said this, and I agree with that. I don't want to think that. I just want to try it out and see how I feel, gain my own opinion on it. So it's been difficult because I feel like there's been a lot of stuff that's came out about this microphone and a lot of people have recommended that I try it out. So here we are with the King B in the studio. And the first thing that I will say about it is this mic is huge. Damn, when I heard that it was the King B, I was like, oh, Bees are small, they're little insects. So I expected it to be kind of small, maybe like a blue spark size. But no, this thing is gigantic. I was shocked when I lifted the box up. This is a $99 microphone, and most $99 microphones are pretty small and compact, and this thing is big and has some weight to it. But we'll talk some more about the build and the accessories here in a minute. But first, let me tell you that I am using my Zoom H6 to record this. I do have phantom power engaged because you will need it since this is a condenser microphone. And I am not joking you when I say that the gain is set at 32%. 32%. That's crazy low. First things first, let me go ahead and tell you what comes with the King B when you purchase it. When you purchase the King B microphone, it comes with a shock mount. That shock mount has some screws on the bottom, and that's how you attach the microphone to the shock mount. And this also does come with extra screws in case you lose those. Inside the shock mount, it does in fact come with a microphone stand adapter. This microphone also comes with its own pop filter. It is a pretty adorable design. It has a little honeycomb on the front. That's too much. The last thing that will be in the box is the condenser microphone itself from Neat, the King B. The accessories that come with this microphone are awesome. Yeah, there's some plastic on the shock mount, but overall it is really good. It feels really sturdy, and honestly, it really works. I'm shaking the shit out of this mic stand right now. That's pretty good. Seriously though, the documentation points for this being adorable. Literally, recording is referred to as pollination. Come on. That's cute. You can't get mad about that. The pop filter is plastic, so I don't know if that bugs you. It doesn't really bug me in this situation because it is still built really well. It does go onto the microphone really well, and it stays on the microphone really well. I like the design of it. When it comes to the build of the microphone itself, this thing is a monster. This thing has some weight to it. It feels really good, though. It feels like it'd last a really long time. And not to mention these rubber bands on here feel so smooth. I love it. These rubber bands don't come off super easy though, and sadly there is white under it. I was thinking that would be kind of nice if you could take this off and it was all black, but no go on that one. Even though I never mention stuff like this, is that the packaging that this came in was awesome. It was super protective, and just look at the outside of it. It just looks so fantastic. They did not half-ass the theme on this. They really went for it, and I can appreciate that. Well, now that we've talked about some basics of this microphone, let's go ahead and nerd out and talk about the specs. The King B microphone has a 34mm center-terminated condenser capsule with external polarization. This has a cardioid polar pattern and a frequency response of 16 Hz to 20 kHz. This microphone has a sensitivity of 26 millivolts per Pascal at 1 kilohertz. This has an output impedance of 150 ohms and a max SPL of 140 decibels. With a signal-to-noise ratio of 87.5 dBA and a noise level of 6.5 dBA. This microphone has a dynamic range of 134 decibels, and this microphone does require phantom power, and it has a minimum requirement of 35 volts. The frequency response graph is honestly pretty flat overall. Yeah, there's a boost in the high end, but it's about 5 decibels, around 8 kilohertz, and it's nothing too serious. When it comes to the specs, there were a few things that I was actually very impressed by. When I initially turned this microphone on, put my headphones on, I was like, this is quiet. Like, it's noticeably quiet. And then once I read the specs, it made sense. 6.5 dBA. dBA means that is the human ear's perception of the noise level. And let me just say, that's very quiet for a $100 microphone. Like the very popular AT2020 has a 20 decibel noise floor. That's not a dBA rating, that's a dB rating. So therefore, it doesn't even mean it's perceived at 20 decibels. It could be louder than that, and it probably is. So this for a $100 microphone being 6.5 dBA is pretty incredible. Another thing that was really cool that I don't see very often is a microphone going below 20 hertz. This has a frequency response of 16 hertz to 20 kilohertz. That's awesome. Like, 20 to 20 is what you want, but even lower? Well, now that we've gone through the basics of this microphone and we even got a little nerdy, let's go ahead and test this microphone out. I have been using the included pop filter with this microphone during this review so far. I will do some tests without it, but if a company includes a windscreen or pop filter with a microphone, I usually assume that they want you to use it. So I have been using it, but I will still do some tests without it. Let's go ahead and start by getting close to this. Please don't sting me. I don't need this today. Please don't sting me. Don't sting me. Please, mother. Now that we have this netting in between us, I feel a little bit better about getting close to this bee. Gosh, the things I do for you guys. Let's do some plosives. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled peanuts. 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 Now let's go ahead and do a polar pattern test with some white noise. Here's how the front sounds, here's how the side sounds, and here's how the back sounds. If you're going to be typing on a keyboard while you're talking into the King Bee, maybe you're on a podcast and you need to look something up because you don't know the answer, and you know Goog does, here's how it sounds. If you're a YouTuber that doesn't like having a microphone on screen with you, or maybe you just don't like the look of the King Bee, here's how the microphone would sound about 3 feet away, and I've probably boosted this about 6 decibels in post. If you want to get this microphone for podcasting or voiceover or anything where you're going to want some post-processing on it, here's how this microphone could sound with some EQ, some compression, a de-esser, and a noise remover. And also, this is with the pop filter on the microphone. Well, now that we've gone through the basics, the specs, and we tested this microphone out, let's go ahead and get to my review of the King Bee. As I was saying earlier, there have been a lot of people that have reached out to me being like, dude, the King Bee is only $100. You have to get it. You have to try it. You will not be disappointed. And a part of me is always like, oh, cool, another $100 condenser microphone. Sweet. I feel like there are a lot of $100 condenser microphones out there. I feel like a lot of them are just a little underwhelming, but there are definitely $100 condenser microphones out there that exceed their price tag and are well worth the money. One of which is right in front of me. This microphone for $100 is honestly mind-blowing to me. The build quality, the accessories, everything. So awesome. A lot of $100 condensers are like bare bones, don't come with anything. They come with a little dinky little plastic mic mount, but that's it. This comes with like an incredible shock mount that actually works, a pop filter that actually works, and the build is insane. I really do feel like this microphone sounds very good. It adds a nice clarity with that little high-end boost. I think this does sound really good on the voice. And also, I do like it on the acoustic guitar. And not to mention, you could definitely beat someone to death with this and then literally just go plug it in and use it like nothing ever happened. I'm honestly shocked that this microphone is as good as it is. Not because I didn't believe or trust people that told me it was good, but the last Neat microphone that I tried out was a USB microphone. It was the Widget. And things did not go well with that microphone. I had to end its life. I did. Okay, I'll admit it. It got gruesome. I'm not gonna lie. So if you do want to watch me run over a microphone with a car, go watch the Neat Widget review. You can see that. And so I was excited to try this because I'm like, oh, I'll give it a second chance, you know? But I was still like, oh, if they could screw that microphone up that much, I don't know if they're going to be able to pull off a $100 condenser. But they did. This is a fantastic microphone, and I just like everything about it. The accessories, everything is so good. It sounds great. Even though I've talked this microphone up, there is one thing that could be a con that I want to mention. Let me just disclaim this real quick though. I really do love the take on this. I love the theme. I think it's really fun. I get a kick out of it. I think it's fun. But on the other hand, a part of me does realize this isn't professional looking. And I could see that being a really big turnoff for some people. Even though this microphone does get a lot of things right, I don't think that I would necessarily turn to it to make a video on YouTube with, because I feel like a lot of the time people would just be so distracted and be like, what's going on with that microphone? You know, what is that? I know I would probably be the person that would do that, and I wouldn't be paying attention to the creator at all. I'd just be looking at these yellow stripes and be like, that's a B microphone. Is that a fucking B microphone? And if you are going to start like recording artists and they're going to pay you, and you are kind of at the beginning of your career and you only have, you know, like a Focusrite Scarlett and $100 microphone, I don't know if that band walks in and sees a B themed microphone if they're going to take you very seriously. Just food for thought. It's not a deal breaker for me. It's just something to consider, that if you need a microphone that looks a little bit more professional, this probably isn't your thing. But with that aside and everything considered, the grade that I give the Neat King B is an A+. Woo! So even though this microphone looks like a fucking B, I still love the shit out of it. It's fantastic. Thank you for watching this review of the Neat King B. I hope it helped you out, helped you decide whether you want this microphone or not, but most of all, I hope you had fun. Stay tuned for a lot more reviews, and thank you to all of my subscribers. You are the absolute best in this colony. You get it? Colony of bees? You got it. Aren't jokes the best when they have to be explained? Thank you all for watching the Audio Hotline. I'll see you audio nerds next time.